The tiger Panthera tigris is a large cat and a member of the genus Panthera native to Asia. It has a powerful, muscular body with a large head and paws, a long tail and orange fur with black, mostly vertical stripes. It is traditionally classified into 9 recent subspecies, though some recognize only to subspecies, mainland Asian tigers and the island tigers of the Sunda Islands. Throughout the tiger's range, it inhabits mainly forests, from coniferous and temperate broadleaf and mixed forests in the Russian Far East and Northeast China to tropical and subtropical moist broadleaf forests on the Indian subcontinent and Southeast Asia. The tiger is an apex predator and preys mainly on ungulates, which it takes by ambush. It lives a mostly solitary life and occupies home ranges, defending these from individuals of the same sex. The range of a male tiger overlaps with that of multiple females with whom he mates. Females give birth to usually 2 or 3 cubs that stay with their mother for about 2 years. When becoming independent, they leave their mother's home range and establish their own. Since the early 20th century, tiger populations have lost at least 93% of their historic range and are locally extinct in West and Central Asia, in large areas of China and on the islands of Java and Bali. Today, the tiger's range is severely fragmented. It is listed as endangered on the IUCN Red List of threatened species, as its range is thought to have declined by 53% to 68% since the late 1990s. Major threats to tigers are habitat destruction and fragmentation due to deforestation, poaching for fur, and the illegal trade of body parts for medicinal purposes. Tigers are also victims of human-wildlife conflict as they attack and prey on livestock in areas where natural prey is scarce. The tiger is legally protected in all range countries. National conservation measures consist of action plans, anti-poaching patrols, and schemes for monitoring tiger populations. In several range countries, wildlife corridors have been established and tiger reintroduction is planned. The tiger is among the most popular of the world's charismatic megafauna. It has been kept in captivity since ancient times and has been trained to perform in circuses and other entertainment shows. The tiger featured prominently in the ancient mythology and folklore of cultures throughout its historic range and has continued to appear in culture worldwide. The Old English tigris derives from Old French tigre, from Latin tigris, which was a borrowing from tigris ancient Greek, tau y gamma rho iota sigma, for since ancient times. The word tigris has been suggested to originate from the Armenian or Persian word for arrow, which may also be the origin of the name for the river Tigris, 5-6. However, today, the names are thought to be homonyms, and the connection between the tiger and the river is doubted. In 1758, Carl Linnaeus described the tiger in his work Systema Naturae and gave it the scientific name Felis tigris, as the genus Felis was being used for all cats at the time. His scientific description was based on descriptions by earlier naturalists, such as Conrad Gessner and Ulysse Aldrovandi, too. In 1929, Reginald Innes Pocket placed the species in the genus Panthera using the scientific name Panthera tigris. Subspecies: 9 recent tiger subspecies have been proposed between the early 19th and early 21st centuries, namely the Bengal, Malayan, Indo-Chinese, South China, Siberian, Caspian, Javan, Bali, and Sumatran tigers, 910. The validity of several tiger subspecies was questioned in 1999, as most putative subspecies were distinguished on the basis of fur length and coloration, striping patterns, and body size of specimens in natural history museum collections that are not necessarily representative for the entire population. It was proposed to recognize only to tiger subspecies as valid, namely PT, tigris in mainland Asia, and the smaller PT, Sondika in the Greater Sunda Islands. This 2 subspecies proposal was reaffirmed in 2015 through a comprehensive analysis of morphological, ecological, and mitochondrial DNA and tDNA traits of all putative tiger subspecies, 10 in 2017. The Cat Classification Task Force of the IUCN Cat Specialist Group revised Felis taxonomy in accordance with the 2015 2 subspecies proposal and recognized only PT, Tigris and PT, Sondeka. 12 results of a 2018 whole genome sequencing study of 32 samples from the 6 living putative subspecies: the Bengal, Malayan, Indo-Chinese, South China, Siberian and Sumatran tiger, found them to be distinct and separate clades. 13. These results were corroborated in 2021 and 2023. 14-15. The cat specialist group states that given the varied interpretations of data, the subspecific taxonomy of this species is currently under review by the IUCN cat specialist group. The following tables are based on the classification of the tiger as of 2005-9 and also reflect the classification recognized by the Cat Classification Task Force in 2017. Evolution: Panthera. Snow leopard, tiger, jaguar, leopard, lion. Phylogeny of the genus Panthera based on a 2016 nuclear DNA study. 36. The tiger shares the genus Panthera with the lion, leopard, jaguar, and snow leopard. Results of genetic analyses indicate that the tiger and snow leopard are sister species whose lineages split from each other between 2.70 and 3.70 million years ago. 37. The tiger's whole genome sequencing shows repeated sequences that parallel those in other cat genomes. The fossil species Panthera sinensis of early Pleistocene northern China was described as a possible tiger ancestor when it was discovered in 1924, but modern cladistics places it as basal to modern Panthera. 3940. Panthera stansky lived around the same time and place, and was suggested to be a sister species of the modern tiger when it was examined in 2014. 39. However, as of 2023, at least 2 subsequent studies considered P. stansky likely to be a synonym of P. sinensis, noting that its proposed differences from that species fell within the range of individual variation. 41-42. The earliest appearance of the modern tiger species in the fossil record are jaw fragments from Lanshan in China that are dated to the early Pleistocene. Middle to late Pleistocene tiger fossils have been found throughout China, Sumatra, and Java. Prehistoric subspecies include Panthera tigris trinalensis and Pt, Soloensis of Java and Sumatra, and Pt, Acutidens of China. Late Pleistocene and early Holocene fossils of tigers have also been found in Borneo and Palawan, Philippines. 43 fossil specimens of tigers have also been reported from the Middle-Late Pleistocene of Japan. 44 results of a phylogeographic study indicate that all living tigers have a common ancestor that lived between 108,000 and 72,000 years ago. 31 genetic studies suggest that the tiger population contracted around 115,000 years ago due to glaciation. Modern tiger populations originated from a refugium in Indochina and spread across Asia after the last glacial maximum. As they colonized northeastern China, the ancestors of the South China tiger intermixed with the relict tiger population. Hybrids. Further information: Felid hybrids and Panthera hybrid. Tigers can interbreed with other Panthera cats and have done so in captivity. The liger is the offspring of a female tiger and a male lion, and the tigon the offspring of a male tiger and a female lion. 45. The lion sire passes on a growth-promoting gene, but the corresponding growth-inhibiting gene from the female tiger is absent, so that ligers grow far larger than either parent species. By contrast, the male tiger does not pass on a growth-promoting gene, while the lioness passes on a growth-inhibiting gene. Hence, tigons are around the same size as their parents. 46. Since they often develop life-threatening birth defect and can easily become obese, breeding these hybrids is regarded as unethical. Characteristics. Drawing of tiger skeleton. Tiger skeleton from Royal Natural History Volume 11839. The tiger has a typical felid morphology, with a muscular body, shortened legs, strong forelimbs with wide front paws, a large head, and a tail that is about half the length of the rest of its body. 47-48. It has 5 digits, including a dew claw, on the front feet and fur on the back, all of which have retractile claws that are compact and curved, and can reach 10 centimeters 3.9 in long. 47-49. The ears are rounded and the eyes have a round pupil. 47. The snout ends in a triangular, pink tip with small black dots, the number of which increase with age. 50. The tiger's skull is robust, with a constricted front region, proportionally small, elliptical orbits, long nasal bones and a lengthened cranium with a large sagittal crest. 5147. It resembles a lion's skull, but differs from it in the concave or flattened underside of the lower jaw and in its longer nasals. 5143. The tiger has 30 fairly robust teeth, and its somewhat curved canines are the longest in the cat family at 6.4 to 7.6 centimeters to 0.5 to 3.0 in. The tiger has a head body length of 1.42 to 0.8 meters for feet 7 in, 9 feet 2 in with a 0.6 to 1.1 meters to feet 0 into 3 feet 7 in tail and stands 0.8 to 1.1 meters to feet 7 in, 3 feet 7 in at the shoulder. 53. The Siberian and Bengal tigers are the largest. 47. Male Bengal tigers weigh 200 to 260 kilograms for 140 to 570 pounds, and females weigh 100 to 160 kilograms, 220 to 350 pounds. Island tigers are the smallest, likely due to insular dwarfism. 11. Male Sumatran tigers weigh 100 to 140 kilograms, 220 to 310 pounds, and females weigh 75 to 110 kilograms, 100. The tiger is popularly thought to be the largest living felid species. But since tigers of the different subspecies and populations vary greatly in size and weight, the tiger's average size may be less than the lion's, while the largest tigers are bigger than their lion counterparts. Close-up of a tiger's fur. Siberian tiger coat on flank side. The tiger's coat usually has short hairs reaching up to 35 millimeters, 1.4 in, though the hairs of the northern living Siberian tiger can reach 105 millimeters for 0.1 in. Belly hairs tend to be longer than back hairs. The density of their fur is usually thin, though the Siberian tiger develops a particularly thick winter coat. The tiger has lines of fur around the face and long whiskers, especially in males. 47. It has an orange coloration that varies from yellowish to reddish. 55. White fur covers the underside, from head to tail, along with the inner surface of the legs and parts of the face. 47. 56. On the back of the ears, it has a prominent white spot, which is surrounded by black. 47. The tiger is marked with distinctive black or dark brown stripes, which are uniquely patterned in each individual. 47. 57. The stripes are mostly vertical, but those on the limbs and forehead are horizontal. They are more concentrated towards the backside, and those on the trunk may reach under the belly. The tips of stripes are generally sharp, and some may split up or split and fuse again. Tail stripes are thick bands, and a black tip marks the end. The tiger is one of only a few striped cat species. 58. Stripes are advantageous for camouflage in vegetation with vertical patterns of light and shade, such as trees, reeds, and tall grass. 57. 59. This is supported by a Fourier analysis study showing that the striping patterns line up with their environment. 60. The orange color may also aid in concealment, as the tiger's prey is colorblind and possibly perceives the tiger as green and blended in with the vegetation. Color variations: white tiger with thickened stripes lying down. Pseudo-melanistic white tiger. The three-color variants of Bengal tigers, nearly stripeless snow white, white and golden, are now virtually non-existent in the wild due to the reduction of wild tiger populations, but continue in captive populations. The white tiger has a white background color with sepia brown stripes. The golden tiger is pale golden with reddish-brown stripes. The snow white tiger is a morph with extremely faint stripes and a pale sepia brown ringed tail. White and golden morphs are the result of an autosomal recessive trait with a white locus and a wideband locus, respectively. The snow white variation is caused by polygynes with both white and wideband loci. 62. The breeding of white tigers is controversial as they have no use for conservation. Only 0.001% of wild tigers have the genes for this color morph, and the overrepresentation of white tigers in captivity is the result of inbreeding. Hence, their continued breeding will risk both inbreeding depression and loss of genetic variability in captive tigers. Pseudomelanistic tigers with thick, merged stripes have been recorded in Simlable National Park and 3 Indian zoos. A population genetic analysis of Indian tiger samples revealed that this phenotype is caused by a mutation of a transmembrane aminopeptidase gene. Around 37% of the Simlable tiger population has this feature, which has been linked to genetic isolation. Distribution and habitat: picture of tiger in forest at night. The tiger historically ranged from eastern Turkey, northern Iran and Afghanistan to Central Asia, and from northern Pakistan through the Indian subcontinent and Indochina to southeastern Siberia, Sumatra, Java, and Bali. 47. As of 2022, it inhabits less than 7% of its historical distribution and has a scattered range in the Indian subcontinent, the Indo-Chinese Peninsula, Sumatra, northeastern China, and the Russian Far East. 1. As of 2020, India had the largest extent of global tiger habitat with 300,508 square kilometers, 116,027 square miles, followed by Russia with 195,819 square kilometers, 75. The tiger mainly lives in forest habitats and is highly adaptable. 50 for records in Central Asia indicate that it primarily inhabited tugay riverine forests and hilly and lowland forests in the Caucasus. 66. In the Amur-Ussuri region of Russia and China, it inhabits Korean pine and temperate broadleaf and mixed forests. Riparian forests serve as dispersal corridors, providing food and water for both tigers and ungulates. 67. On the Indian subcontinent, it inhabits mainly tropical and subtropical moist broadleaf forests, temperate broadleaf and mixed forests, tropical moist evergreen forests, tropical dry forests, alluvial plains, and the mangrove forests of the Sundarbans. 68. In the eastern Himalayas, it was documented in temperate forest up to an elevation of 4,200 meters, 13,800 feet in Bhutan, of 3,630 meters, 11,910 feet in the Mishmi Hills, and of 3,139 meters, 10,299 feet in Madag County, southeastern Tibet. 69. 70-71. In Thailand, it lives in deciduous and evergreen forests. 72. In Sumatra, it inhabits lowland peat swamp forests and rugged montane forests. Population density: camera trapping during 2010 to 2015 in the deciduous subtropical pine forest of Jim Corbett National Park. Northern India revealed a stable tiger population density of 12 to 17 individuals per 100 square kilometers, 39 square miles, and an area of 521 square kilometers to 101 square miles. 74. In northern Myanmar, the population density in a sampled area of roughly 3,250 square kilometers, 1,250 square mi, in a mosaic of tropical broadleaf forest and grassland, was estimated to be 0.1 to 0.4 for tigers per 100 square kilometers, 39 square miles. As of 2009, 75 population density in mixed deciduous and semi-evergreen forests of Thailand's Huayca Kong Wildlife Sanctuary was estimated at 0.01 tigers per 100 square kilometers, 39 square miles. During the 1970s and 1980s, logging and poaching had occurred in the adjacent Mae Wong and Klong Land National Parks, where population density was much lower. Estimated at only 0.359 tigers per 100 square kilometers, 39 square miles as of 2016. 76 population density in dipterocarp and montane forests in northern Malaysia was estimated at 1.472 to 0.43 adult tigers per 100 square kilometers, 39 square miles in Royal Belem State Park, but 0.3 to 0.92 adult tigers per 100 square kilometers, 39 square miles in the unprotected behavior and ecology, tiger in water, tiger bathing. Camera trap data show that tigers in Chitwan National Park avoided locations frequented by people and were more active at night than during day. 78. In Sundarbans National Park, 6 radio-collared tigers were most active from dawn to early morning and reached their zenith around 7 o'clock in the morning. 79. A 3-year-long camera trap survey in Shuklafan National Park revealed that tigers were most active from dusk until midnight. 80. In northeastern China, tigers were crepuscular and active at night with activity peaking at dawn and dusk. They were largely active at the same time as their prey. 81. The tiger is a powerful swimmer and easily traverses rivers as wide as 8 kilometers, 5.0 miles. It immerses in water, particularly on hot days. In general, it is less capable of climbing trees than many other cats due to its size, but cubs under 16 months old may routinely do so. 80 to an adult was recorded climbing 10 meters, 33 feet up a smooth pipal tree. Social spacing. Adult tigers lead largely solitary lives within home ranges or territories, the size of which mainly depends on prey abundance, geographic area, and sex of the individual. Males and females defend their home ranges from those of the same sex, and the home range of a male encompasses that of multiple females. 47.57 to females in the Sundarbans had home ranges of 10.6 and 14.1 square kilometers for 0.1 and 5 square miles. 83. In Punna Tiger Reserve, the home ranges of 5 reintroduced females varied from 53 to 67 square kilometers, 20 to 26 square miles in winter to 55 to 60 square kilometers, 21 to 23 square miles in summer, and to 46 to 90 square kilometers, 18 to 36 square miles during the monsoon. 3 males had 84 to 147 square kilometers, 30 to 257 square miles large home ranges in winter, 82 to 98 square kilometers, 32 to 38 square miles in summer, and 81 to 118 square. In Sikhotalan Biosphere Reserve, 14 females had home ranges to 148 to 520 square kilometers, 96 to 201 square miles, and 5 resident males of 847 to 1,923 square kilometers, 327 to 740 to square miles that overlapped with those of up to 5 females. 85 when tigresses in the same reserve had cubs of up to 4 months of age. They reduced their home ranges to stay near their young and steadily enlarged them until their offspring were 13 to 18 months old. Queen of our ANTHAMBORE.jpg. Bengal tigers spraying urine above and rubbing against a tree to mark territory. The tiger is a long-ranging species, and individuals disperse over distances of up to 650 kilometers for 100 miles to reach tiger populations in other areas. 87 young tigresses establish their first home ranges close to their mothers, while males migrate further than their female counterparts. 88 for radio-collared females in Chitwan dispersed between 0 and 43 kilometers 0.0 and 26.8 miles, and 10 males between 9.5 and 65.7 kilometers 5.9 and 40.8 miles. 89. A sub-home ranges, particularly those that belong to a deceased individual, can be taken over in days or weeks. Male tigers are generally less tolerant of other males within their home ranges than females are of other females. Disputes are usually solved by intimidation rather than fighting. Once dominance has been established, a male may tolerate a subordinate within his range, as long as they do not come near him. The most serious disputes tend to occur between two males competing for a female in oestrus. 94. Though tigers mostly live alone, relationships between individuals can be complex. Tigers are particularly social at kills, and a male tiger will sometimes share a carcass with the females and cubs within this home range, and unlike male lions, will allow them to feed on the kill before he is finished with it. However, a female is more tense when encountering another female at a kill. Communication, captive Sumatran tiger roaring. During friendly encounters and bonding, tigers rub against each other's bodies. 97 facial expressions include the defense threat, which involves a wrinkled face, bared teeth, pulled back ears, and widened pupils. 9847 both males and females show a phlegm response, a characteristic curled lip grimace, when smelling urine markings. Males also use the phlegm to detect the markings made by tigresses in oestrus. 47. Tigers will move their ears around to display the white spots, particularly during aggressive encounters and between mothers and cubs. 99. They also use their tails to signal their mood. To show cordiality, the tail sticks up and sways slowly, while an apprehensive tiger lowers its tail or wags it side to side. When calm, the tail hangs low. Tigers are normally silent, but can produce numerous vocalizations. 101-100 to they roar to signal their presence to other individuals over long distances. This vocalization is forced through an open mouth as it closes and can be heard 3 kilometers 1.9 miles away. They roar multiple times in a row, and others respond in kind. Tigers also roar during mating, and a mother will roar to call her cubs to her. When tense, tigers moan, a sound similar to a roar but softer and made when the mouth is at least partially closed. Moaning can be heard for 100 meters, 1,300 feet away. 47-103. Aggressive encounters involve growling, snarling, and hissing. 104. An explosive coughing roar or coughing snarl is emitted through an open mouth and exposed teeth. 47-100 for 99. In friendlier situations, tigers Preston, a soft, low-frequency snorting sound similar to purring in smaller cats. 105 tiger mothers communicate with their cubs by grunting, while cubs call back with meows. 106 when startled, they woof. They produce a deer-like pock sound for unknown reasons, but most often at kills. Competitors, painting of dhole pack attacking a tiger. An 1807 illustration of dholes attacking a tiger. In much of their range, tigers share habitat with leopards and dholes. They typically dominate both of them, though with dholes it depends on their pack size. Interrational Park. The average weight for tiger kills was found to be 91.5 kilograms 200 to pounds, compared to 37.6 kilograms 83 pounds for leopards and 43.4 kilograms 96 pounds for dholes. In Kuiburi National Park, following a reduction in prey numbers, tigers continued to kill favored prey while leopards and dholes increased their consumption of small prey. Both leopards and dholes can live successfully in tiger habitat when there is abundant food and vegetation cover. 130 for 136. Otherwise, they appear to be less common where tigers are numerous. The recovery of the tiger population in Rajaji National Park during the 2000s led to a reduction in leopard population densities. 137. Similarly, at to sites in central India, the size of dhole packs was negatively correlated with tiger densities. 138. Leopard and dhole distribution in Kuiburi correlated with both prey excess and tiger scarcity. 139. In Jigandorji National Park, tigers were found to inhabit the deeper parts of forests, while the smaller predators were pushed closer to the fringes. Reproduction and life cycle. Tiger with cubs. A Bengal tiger family in Kanha Tiger Reserve. The tiger generally mates all year round, particularly between November and April. A tigress is in oestrus for 3 to 6 days at a time, separated by 3 to 9 week intervals. 47. A resident male mates with all the females within his home range, who signal their receptiveness by roaring and marking. 140 to younger. Transient males are also attracted, leading to a fight in which the more dominant resident male drives the usurper off. 141. During courtship, the male is cautious with the female. He waits for her to show signs she is ready to mate. She signals to him by positioning herself in lordosis with her tail to the side. Copulation typically lasts no more than 20 seconds. with the male biting the female by the scruff of her neck. After it is finished, the male quickly pulls away as the female may turn and slap him. 141. Tiger pairs may stay together for up to 4 days and mate multiple times. 140 for gestation lasts around or over 3 months. A tigress gives birth in a secluded location, be it in dense vegetation, in a cave or under a rocky shelter. 145 litters consist of as many as 7 cubs, but 2 or 3 are more typical. 145 newborn cubs weigh 785 to 1,610 grams, 27.7 to 56.8 ounces, and are blind and altricial. 145. The mother licks and cleans her cubs, suckles them, and viciously defends them from any potential threat. 143 cubs open their eyes at the age of 3 to 14 days and their vision becomes clear after a few more weeks. 145. They can leave the denning site after 2 months and around the same time they start eating meat. 146. The mother only leaves them alone to hunt and even then she does not travel far. 147. When she's monitoring over 6 years in Ranthambore Tiger Reserve indicated an average annual survival rate of around 85% for 70 for male and female cubs. Survival rate increased to 97% for both males and female juveniles of 1 to 2 years of age. 151 causes of cub mortality include predators, floods, fires, death of the mother, and fatal injuries. Tigress with cub in snow. A Siberian tigress with her cub at Buffalo Zoo. After around 2 months, the cubs are able to follow their mother. They still hide in vegetation when she goes hunting. Young bond through play fighting and practice stalking. A hierarchy develops in the litter, with the biggest cub, often a male, being the most dominant and the first to eat its fill at a kill. 150 for around the age of 6 months. Cubs are fully weaned and have more freedom to explore their environment. Between 8 and 10 months, they accompany their mother on hunts. 117. A cub can make a kill as early as 11 months and reach independence as a juvenile of 18 to 24 months of age. Males become independent earlier than females. 151 radio-collared tigers in Chitwan started leaving their natal areas at the age of 19 months. 89 young females are sexually mature at 3 to 4 years, whereas males are at 4 to 5 years. 47 generation length of the tiger is about 7 to 10 years. 156. Wild Bengal tigers live 12 to 15 years. 157. Data from the International Tiger Stud Book 1938 to 2018 indicate that captive tigers lived up to 19 years. The father does not play a role in raising the young, but he encounters and interacts with them. The resident male appears to visit the female cub families within his home range. They socialize and even share kills. 161 male was recorded looking after cubs whose mother had died. 161. By defending his home range, the male protects the females and cubs from other males. 162. When a new male takes over, dependent cubs are at risk of infanticide as the male attempts to sire his own young with the females. 163. A 7-year-long study in Chitwan National Park revealed that 12 of 56 detected cubs and juveniles were killed by new males taking over home ranges. Health and diseases. Tigers are recorded as hosts for various parasites including tapeworms like Diphyllobothrium erinaceae, Taenia pisiformis in India, and nematodes like Toxocarus species in India and Physoloptera proputialis, Durofilaria ursi, and Eugeonardus species in Siberia. 47. Canine distemper is known to occur in Siberian tigers. 164. A morbillivorous infection was the likely cause of death of a tigress in the Russian Far East that was also tested positive for feline panleukopenia and feline coronavirus. 165 blood samples from 11 adult tigers in Nepal showed antibodies for canine parvovirus 2, feline herpes virus, feline coronavirus, leptospirosis, and Toxoplasma gondii. The tiger has been listed as endangered on the IUCN Red List since 1986 and the global tiger population is thought to have continuously declined from an estimated population of 5,000 to 8,262 tigers in the late 1990s to 3,726 to 5,578 individuals estimated as of 2022. During 2001 to 2020, landscapes where tigers lived declined from 1,025,488 square kilometers, 395,943 square miles to 911,901 square kilometers, 352,087 square miles. 65 Habitat destruction. Habitat fragmentation and poaching for fur and body parts are the major threats that contributed to the decrease of tiger populations in all range countries. Protected areas in central India are highly fragmented due to linear infrastructure like roads, railway lines, transmission lines, irrigation channels, and mining activities in their vicinity. 167. In the Tananthari region of southern Myanmar, deforestation coupled with mining activities and high hunting pressure threatens the tiger population. 168. In Thailand, 9 of 15 protected areas hosting tigers are isolated and fragmented, offering a low probability for dispersal between them. 4 of these have not harbored tigers since about 2013. 169. In peninsular Malaysia, 8,315.7 square kilometers, 3,210.7 square miles of tiger habitat was cleared during 1988 to 2012, most of it for industrial plantations. 170 large-scale land acquisitions of about 23,000 square kilometers, 8,900 square miles, for commercial agriculture and timber extraction in Cambodia contributed to the fragmentation of potential tiger habitat, especially in the eastern plains. 171. Inbreeding depression coupled with habitat destruction, insufficient prey resources, and poaching is a threat to the small and isolated tiger population in the Qinghai Mountains along the China-Russia border. 172. In China, tigers became the target of large-scale anti-pest campaigns in the early 1950s, where suitable habitats were fragmented following deforestation and resettlement of people to rural areas, who hunted tigers and prey species. Though tiger hunting was prohibited in 1977, the population continued to decline and is considered extinct in South China since 2001. At Fului National Park was considered the last important site for the tiger in Laos, but it has not been recorded there at least since 2013. This population likely fell victim to indiscriminate snaring. 177 anti-poaching units in Sumatra's currency sublot landscape removed 360 tiger snare traps and seized 91 tiger skins during 2005 to 2016. Annual poaching rates increased with rising skin prices. 178. Poaching is also the main threat to the tiger population in far eastern Russia, where logging roads facilitate access for poachers and people harvesting forest products that are important for prey species to survive in winter. Body parts of 207 tigers were detected during 21 surveys in 1991 to 2014 into wildlife markets in Myanmar catering to customers in Thailand and China. 180. During the years 2000 to 2022, at least 3,377 tigers were confiscated in 2,205 seizures in 28 countries. Seizures encompassed 665 live and 650 for dead individuals, 1,313 whole tiger skins, 16,214 body parts like bones, teeth, paws, claws, whiskers, and 1.1 to 1.1 long tons. 1.2 short tons of meat. 759 seizures in India encompassed body parts of 893 tigers. And 403 seizures in Thailand involved mostly captive-bred tigers. 181 seizures in Nepal between January 2011 and December 2015 obtained 585 pieces of tiger body parts and to whole carcasses in 19 districts. 182 Seizure data from India during 2001 to 2021 indicate that tiger skins were the most often traded body parts, followed by claws, bones, and teeth. Trafficking routes mainly pass through the states of Maharashtra, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, and Assam. 183. A total of 292 illegal tiger parts were confiscated at U.S. ports of entry from personal baggage, air cargo, and mail between 2003 and 2012. Demand for tiger parts for use in traditional Chinese medicine has also been cited as a major threat to tiger populations. 185. Interviews with local people in the Bangladeshi Sundarbans revealed that they kill tigers for local consumption and trade of skins, bones, and meat in retaliation for attacks by tigers and for excitement. 186 tiger body parts like skins, bones, teeth, and hair are consumed locally by wealthy Bangladeshis and are legally trafficked from Bangladesh to 15 countries including India, China, Malaysia, Korea, Vietnam, Cambodia, Japan, and the United Kingdom via land borders. Airports and seaports. 187. Tiger bone hunting and diet. Tiger attacking a sambar deer from behind, pulling on its back. Bengal tiger attacking a sambar deer in Ranthambore Tiger Reserve. The tiger is a carnivore and an apex predator feeding mainly on large and medium-sized ungulates, with a preference for sambar deer, Manchurian wapiti, Barasingha, gaur, and wild boar. 109, 110, 111. Abundance and body weight of prey species are assumed to be the main criteria for the tiger's prey selection, both inside and outside protected areas. 112. It also preys opportunistically on smaller species like monkeys, peafowl, and other ground-based birds, porcupines, and fish. 47. 57. Occasional attacks on Asian elephants and Indian rhinoceroses have also been reported. 113. More often, tigers take the more vulnerable calves. 114. They sometimes prey on livestock and dogs in close proximity to settlements. 47. Tigers occasionally consume vegetation, fruit, and minerals for dietary fiber and supplements. Tigers learn to hunt from their mothers, though the ability to hunt may be partially inborn. 116. Depending on the size of the prey, they typically kill weekly, though mothers must kill more often. 50. For families hunt together when cubs are old enough. 117. They search for prey using vision and hearing. 118. A tiger will also wait at a watering hole for prey to come by, particularly during hot summer days. 119. 120. It is an ambush predator, and when approaching potential prey, it crouches with the head lowered and hides in foliage. It switches between creeping forward and staying still. A tiger may even doze off and can stay in the same spot for as long as a day, waiting for prey and launch an attack when the prey is close enough. 121. Usually within 30 meters 98 feet. 50. For if the prey spots it before then, the cat does not pursue further. 119. A tiger can sprint 56 kilometers per hour 35 miles per hour and leap 10 meters 33 feet. 120 to 1. It is not a long-distance runner and gives up a chase if prey outpaces it over a certain distance. To tigers attacking a boar, to Bengal tigers attacking a wild boar and Kanha Tiger Reserve. The tiger attacks from behind or at the sides and tries to knock the target off balance. It latches onto prey with its forelimbs, twisting and turning during the struggle, and tries to pull it to the ground. The tiger generally applies a bite to the throat until its victim dies of strangulation. 47. 120. For 125. 126. It has an average bite force at the canine tips of 1,230 for 0.3 newtons. 127. Holding onto the throat puts the cat out of reach of horns, antlers, tusks, and hooves. 120. For 128. Tigers are adaptable killers and may use other methods, including ripping the throat or breaking the neck. Leaps from the large paws are capable of stunning or breaking the skull of a water buffalo. 129. They kill small prey with a bite to the back of the neck or head. 130. 54. Estimates of the success rate for hunting tigers range from a low of 5% to a high of 50%. They are sometimes killed or injured by large or dangerous prey like gaur, buffalo, and boar. Tigers typically move kills to a private, usually vegetated spot no further than 183 meters 600 feet, though they have been recorded dragging them 549 meters 1,801 feet. They are strong enough to drag the carcass of a fully grown buffalo for some distance. They rest for a while before eating and can consume as much as 50 kilograms, 110 pounds of meat in one session, but feed on a carcass for several days, leaving little for scavengers.